Hi, we're Quaint and Curious Volumes. My name is James. Today is Thursday, which means that it's Poetry Thursday, and I am going to read to you a poem by Wallace Stevens. This is a poet that I read a lot when I was in college. I liked him quite a bit, and I wrote a bunch of essays about him. So I was quite fond of him. Also, since it is what is it, Framed or Art Month, or it's Framed. It's a booktube event in the month of September where people talk about art and art books and other types of art besides writing. And Wallace Stevens, I think, and I'm not alone in this, was an artist, particularly in his early work in the great collection Harmonium, who was trying to do work that was in communication in a sort of dialogue and made reference to a lot of the modern art of the day. So Harmonium was, I think, 1927. So you had all the kind of high modernism going on at that time. And Wallace Stevens, as a young man, lived in New York and was in communication with some artists, including Marcel Duchamp, and others. So I find that you'll see that a lot of his poems are sort of they try to achieve some kind of like a synesthetic effect where they will invoke music and sound and movement and imagery in a way that I find very kind of modernist. Now, I mean, of course, all poetry is describing a thing, and poets have always written about the sound of singers and pipers and music of various kinds. There is something about the way that Stevens, in a very few words, can invoke sounds and imagery that I find very modernist. Anyway, I'm going to read to you one of his best known poems from Harmonium. It is called 13 Ways of Looking at a Blackbird. Maybe you would say this is a kind of a cubist poem about blackbirds. Among the 20 snowy mountains, the only moving thing was the eye of the blackbird. 2. I was of 3 minds, like a tree in which there are 3 blackbirds. 3. The blackbird whirled in the autumn winds. It was a small part of the pantomime. 4. A man and a woman are one. A man and a woman and a blackbird are one. 5. I do not know which to prefer, the beauty of inflections or the beauty of innuendos, the blackbird whistling or just after. 6. Icicles filled the long window with barbaric glass. The shadow of the blackbird crossed it, to and fro. The mood traced in the shadow an indecipherable cause. O thin men of Haddam. 7. O thin men of Haddam. Why do you imagine golden birds? Do you not see how the blackbird walks around the feet of the women about you? 8. I know noble accents and lucid, inescapable rhythms, but I know, too, that the blackbird is involved in what I know. 9. When the blackbird flew out of sight, it marked the edge one of many circles. 10. At the sight of blackbirds flying in a green light, even the bawds of euphony would cry out sharply. 11. He rode over Connecticut in a glass coach. Once a fear pierced him, in that he mistook the shadow of his equipage for blackbirds. 12. The river is moving. The blackbird must be flying. 13. It was evening all afternoon. It was snowing, and it was going to snow. The blackbird sat in the cedar limbs. So, that is 13 Ways of Looking at a Blackbird by Wallace Stevens for your Poetry Thursday. Do you like Wallace Stevens? I haven't read him in a long time, but he was one of my favorites when I was young. He has the man with the blue guitar. Certainly a reference to all the you know who. So anyway, thanks for watching. Talk to you later.